Thank you for subscribing to the channel. It's much appreciated. And for those who haven't subscribed yet, only take you a second and it'd be much appreciated. So hit the like button for this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is what happens when a book is blocked. Now, this can happen to any one of us. It's happened to me twice that I can remember. It may have been more, but I can only really remember two instances where it's bothered me. Now, the first thing is for me to say, don't panic. Someone saying don't panic to anybody has never really helped anyone in the history of humankind. So it's pretty much pointless me saying don't panic. It's almost as pointless as somebody telling someone who's suffering from depression to snap out of it. It's not going to happen. It's totally ridiculous. But you're going to panic. As soon as you see that blocked on your book, you've not had a warning, you don't know why it's been blocked, and there it is. Red letters just like this. Blocked. And it can be heartbreaking because you start to think, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to lose my Amazon account here. What have I done wrong? Have I offended someone? Have I used plagiarism? Have I copied something I shouldn't? But you'll find that there's no real explanation forthcoming. Not instantly. You may have to wait a day or two to get an email from them to explain what has happened. And in the meantime, you're in panic mode, more than likely. And that can't be helped. With my first book, it was that got blocked. It was a low content book, and it was a few years ago. And I had in the title, it was only a line journal, and I put a few of those out while I was getting a bit of practice in publishing, how to do it, how to upload a cover, how to create all this. And that's how I pretty much started. And I couldn't believe it. I put, I have a Candy Crush on a low content book, line journal, with pictures of candy all the way through it and candy on the cover. Now, maybe the colours had something to do with it because it was kind of a pale blue cover with the candy in it, and I have a Candy Crush. But okay, I probably made about 2 or 3 sales a month off that. So it wasn't really anything at all. It all counts. It all counts, and it's all, every penny counts. And that's the way you have to look at it when you're doing, especially when you're publishing a lot of books. But at the same time, it wasn't really enough for me to want to push it, because it did have Candy Crush written in it. Now you can write Candy Crush. I've got a Candy Crush. But if I write that down, that could be seen as you're sort of infringing on someone else's copyright, someone else's trademark. And the fact that I made it blue as well, the fact that really I was looking at Candy Crush, and it did give me that idea for that cover. So I just left it. Now, using trademarks, using anything that can relate to anybody else, can really result in having a book blocked. So be careful of that. My second time was just the other day, which had made me think about doing this video. And there was nothing wrong with my book. It was a cookbook. Everything in it was mine. There was no plagiarism. Nothing. The images were all bought and paid for and part of packages. I was a bit stressed because I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I've got half a dozen cooking books here, recipe books, and I'm thinking, are they all going to get blocked? Is this just the start of 1, 2, 3, a big knock-on effect of them all getting blocked for whatever reason? And all the reviews, I only use legitimate reviews, honest reviews. Some of them can be nasty, but they're still honest reviews. And I don't buy reviews. I don't. So I was thinking, well, what could it possibly be? Now, I wasn't going to let this one stand. So I contacted Amazon. And I asked them the question, what is wrong with this book? In an email, they suggested that it was because some things could be misleading. Some things could be copyright. So I contacted Amazon, and they said, well, this is really something that another department needs to look at, of course. And when something gets to another department, it usually means it's a dead end. But in this case, within a couple of hours, the book was unblocked. So it was like a big sigh of relief. So what I'm saying is, when you see your book blocked, give it a little thinking about why it might be blocked. And should you push it? Should you inquire? If you know there's something a little wrong with it, if you know that maybe, just maybe, you've put something in there that you shouldn't have done, and you shouldn't have done, and is it worth pushing it because of that? And I suppose it depends how much of something you've put in that you shouldn't have put in is in there. If there's just one item, then yeah, it could be worth pushing. But if it's copyright, it's plagiarism, it's wrong, then I wouldn't suggest you push it. I'd just suggest you maybe accept that and then put up another product without those things in it. But if you think that there's nothing wrong with it, what have you done? Or you genuinely don't know that you may have infringed on something, and you're honestly, you're honestly thinking, well, I don't know. You're going to need to inquire. And it's worth doing because, especially if you're earning, now that particular book had 60 reviews on it, and it was ranked at 4.5 out of 5, and it was selling copies every day. I couldn't let that stand. There's just no chance. And I've got other books in the cooking series that are exactly the same thing. There's 60 reviews, or there's 20, 30 reviews in some of them, and they're selling every day. And I thought, this is a business in itself, just the cooking side of things, let alone the children's books that I do, or the adventure books I do, and everything else that I do. So yeah, follow it up. If you feel like you're in the right, or you have no idea what they're talking about, and there's every chance you could get it corrected like I just did the other day. That's it.